I tie one last pink balloon to the fence post and step back to survey the backyard. It looks magical. 9 pink place settings line the picnic table, each with a napkin folded into a crown. The bounce house, a $275 splurge that made my credit card groan, stands inflated, its princess turrets catching the October sunlight. On the dessert table sits a pixel princess cake from Mila's favorite video game, 9 candles standing ready. Perfect, I whisper, though no one is here to hear it. I glance at my watch again, 11:42. Mom and my sisters should have been here by now. They promised to help set up early, but that promise has vanished, like it always does. The sliding glass door squeaks open, and Mila bursts into the yard, twirling in her new birthday dress. The purple fabric sparkles in the sun. "Mom, is it time? Is it time?" She bounces on her toes, then stops, eyes scanning the empty yard. "Where's Grandma? Aunt Savannah and Aunt Lacey? Are they bringing Tyler? Did they see the bounce house yet?" I force a cheerful tone. "They're on their way, sweetie. Probably just running a little late." Her smile falters for a moment before she heads inside. I bite the inside of my cheek, tasting copper, already knowing they might not come at all. The doorbell rings, and Mila screams with excitement. I rush around the house, only to see her face fall. At the door stands Aunt Carol, a wrapped gift in hand. "Happy birthday, sweet pea," Carol says, hugging Mila. Mila hugs her back, but peers around her shoulder, searching for the empty driveway. "Just me today, honey," Carol says, handing her the gift. "But look what I brought you." Her bow is perfect, a small detail she always thinks about. "Thank you," Mila whispers, holding the package close. "Mom, can I put this with the others?" "Of course, baby. The party's already out back." As Mila runs off, Carol steps inside. "Eleanor and the girls aren't coming, are they?" she asks quietly. My phone buzzes before I can answer. A text from Mom reads, "Don't be dramatic. It's just a kid's party. We'll make it up at Christmas." My chest tightens. "Just a kid's party," she says. "Just my kid's party." Carol squeezes my arm. "I'm sorry, Maya." She murmurs. The doorbell rings again, and I'm spared having to respond. Parents begin dropping off classmates, 8 little girls, in party dresses with gift bags and cards. Neighbors bring chairs, juice, and snacks. For an hour, I move through the party in a daze, taking pictures, serving cake, supervising the bounce house. Mila keeps looking toward the gate, eyes lighting up with every arrival, then dimming when it's not her grandmother. "When are Grandma and Aunt Savannah and Aunt Lacey and Tyler coming?" she asks again, tugging at my shirt. "I'm not sure, sweetie," I say, smoothing her hair. "But look at all your friends here to celebrate with you." She nods and runs back to the bounce house, but the slump in her shoulders tells me everything. This isn't the first time my family has let her down, and she already knows it won't be the last. My mind drifts. Last Christmas, $840 spent on gifts I couldn't afford. 3 months ago, $1,650 covering Savannah's salon rent, never repaid. Ever since Dad left when I was 20, Mom has treated me like an ATM with legs. "You're the head of this family now," she declared, as if his departure made me financially responsible. My phone pings again. Savannah has posted on Instagram, Mom, Lacey, and Tyler raising mimosa glasses at a fancy brunch. Caption, "Family first." Mila's voice breaks through my thoughts. She's by the present table, ready to open gifts. I tuck the phone away and force a smile. "Coming, birthday girl?" The girls cluster as Mila opens her presents, thanking each friend with delight. But when the gifts are done, she looks up at me, voice trembling. "Did Grandma forget my birthday?" The question cuts deep. Words fail me, but Carol steps in. "Grandma sometimes has a terrible memory," she winks. "But that means you might get a surprise another day." Mila brightens slightly, and the girls rush back to the bounce house. Carol squeezes my hand. "This isn't right, honey," she whispers. I nod, unable to speak. After the last guest leaves, I retreat to the kitchen, washing plates as silent tears fall. Through the window, I see Aunt Carol helping Mila test her new sidewalk chalk, heads bent together over a rainbow forming on the driveway. My phone buzzes again. Another text from Mom. Need $350 for a family emergency. Can you transfer it today? The plate in my hands cracks as I grip it too tightly. I stare at the message, at the timestamp, 3:48 p.m. Right in the middle of the party she couldn't bother to attend. Something inside me gives way. I set down the broken pieces, dry my hands, and stare at the screen a moment longer. The time for tears is over. A week later, my phone buzzes again while I make Mila's lunch. Peanut butter sandwich cut into triangles. Apple slices arranged in a smile. A note with a little heart. Small gestures to show her she matters. The phone buzzes again and again. The family group chat. I wipe my hands on a dish towel, already dreading what I'll see. 1 week since Mila's birthday, and barely a word from any of them. My mother's message lights up the screen. Exciting news. Savannah's Sweet 16 venue is confirmed. $1,850 per guest, with Maya covering Grandma's share since she's on a fixed income. Details attached. I nearly dropped my phone. Sweet 16? Savannah is 26. Lacey clarifies in the next message. Theme is second chance at Sweet 16, since her real one was at the VFW hall. My fingers tremble as I open the attached PDF. There, printed in glossy color, is a sponsorship page with my LinkedIn profile picture under Platinum Sponsor, Maya Allen. Another message from Lacey. Maya, you're the accountant. Just handle the deposit. Deadline this weekend. Not a request. Mom, Mila's voice interrupts. She's in the doorway, holding a Lego piece. Can you help me with the spaceship? In a minute, sweetheart. I say, my voice distant, even to me. She shuffles back to her room, shoulders slumped. Just like at her birthday. Just like every time my family breaks a promise. After her door clicks shut, I sit at the kitchen table and open my banking app. Balance. $4,213.47. Every penny set aside for Mila's braces next month. On the counter, a stack of medical bills from when she broke her arm 2 years ago. The $1,200 deductible drained my emergency fund. I'd sold Grandma Rose's silver ring, the only heirloom I own, to cover it. Grandma Rose, who taught me to balance a checkbook at 10, would be horrified at how her daughter treats her granddaughter. My budget spreadsheet is open on the laptop, color-coded to the penny. Rent, $1,025. Utilities, $187.32. Groceries, $420. Car payment, $315.76. After-school care, $240. Margins are thin, but we make it work. Our small 2-bedroom isn't much, but it's home. Clean, cared for, safe. I scroll through old Venmo requests from my family. $650 for Savannah's salon, $420 for Mom's patio furniture, $840 for Christmas gifts. None repaid, none acknowledged beyond a brief "thanks, sis." My mother, Eleanor, has mastered financial manipulation, wielding guilt like a limitless credit card. After all, I sacrificed raising you girls alone. She'll say, conveniently forgetting her spending drove Dad away. Savannah, 26, runs a money-losing salon. Every crisis is an emergency, every loan temporary, but next month never comes. Lacey, 24, drowning in credit card debt, turns her financial problems into mine. The doorbell rings. I've got it, Mila calls, running to answer. Aunt Carol steps in, arms loaded with a casserole dish. Hello, sunshine. Is your mom home? Carol asks, eyes narrowing at me. I silently turn my phone toward her. She reads the message, mouth tightening. They've got some nerve, she mutters, sitting beside me. Am or no, they had brunch instead, I say flatly. Carol squeezes my hand. Your mother has always been like this, even as kids, but you don't have to keep playing along. A knock at the back door. Mrs. Wilson, our 71-year-old neighbor, waves through the window. I gesture her in. Brought you some banana bread, she says, pausing as she reads the room. Bad time? Family drama, Carol explains. Mrs. Wilson nods knowingly. She's been bringing casseroles since Mila was born, offering help without judgment. Your coworker James called. Something about covering your shift tomorrow, she says. One of the few people who actually reciprocates. Mommy? Mila appears holding a school drawing labeled My Family. 2 stick figures holding hands. Just me and her. My throat tightens. Of course, baby, I whisper. As I find a magnet, I notice the stack of thank you cards on the counter. Handwritten by Mila for each friend, decorated with careful crayon stars. That night, after tucking Mila in, I pass her room and hear her small voice. God, please make Grandma like me more. Something inside me breaks. Back at my laptop, I find an email I wasn't meant to see, forwarded accidentally by the hotel. The contract for Savannah's Sweet 16 was signed 3 weeks ago, before Mila's birthday. They knew all along they wouldn't attend. I open a folder and create a spreadsheet of every Venmo request from the past 3 years. The total makes my head spin, $23,470. My calendar shows 14 vacation days taken for family events. Hospital visits when Savannah had minor surgery, helping Mom redecorate, driving Lacey to job interviews she never attended. 0 days when any of them watched Mila while I worked overtime. I check Facebook. Mom posted a family photo captioned, "So blessed with my girls." The image is cropped. I'm cut out completely. My anger is cold, clarifying. For the first time in years, the pattern is clear. I open Venmo the next day, fingers hovering as if disarming a bomb. The latest email demands $1,850 for Savannah's Sweet 16, with me covering Grandma's share since she's on a fixed income. As if my money stretches endlessly, they skipped Mila's birthday to plan this. In the next room, Mila hums, arranging stuffed animals for a tea party. No cousins, no grandmother. I tap the screen, create a new payment to my mother, enter $1, and type a single word in the memo, "Congrats." My thumb hovers, then I press send. Confirmation appears. I take a screenshot and save it in a folder labeled Boundaries. For the first time in years, I'd breathe fully. Mom, can we have spaghetti tonight? Mila calls. Absolutely, I answer, voice steadier than in months. By noon, I've made 3 overdue calls. At 2:15, a locksmith named Frank arrives, whistling as he replaces the front and back locks. The invoice, $175. All set, ma'am, he says, handing me 2 keys. No one gets in without them now. While Mila naps, I create a spreadsheet documenting every unpaid loan from my family over 3 years. Total, $23,470. Enough for a used car, a year of community college, or braces for Mila with money left over. My phone buzzes incessantly. I silence it after the 20th alert and draft an email to the hotel hosting Savannah's event, attaching screenshots proving I never authorized my name or business credentials as a platinum sponsor. Within an hour, a manager confirms the error will be corrected. By evening, Mila and I sit at the small kitchen table, twirling spaghetti, watching cartoons. She laughs, tomato sauce dotting her chin. This is enough. We are enough. At 8:47 p.m., the doorbell rings. Through the peephole, I see Mom flanked by both sisters, faces contorted with rage. Maya Allen, open this door right now, Mom shouts. I step back. The new deadbolt holds. Mila appears behind me. Is that Grandma? She asks. Yes, but she forgot to call, I say calmly. More pounding. You can't hide in there forever, Savannah, my mother yells. Texts flood in. You're betraying this family. How dare you embarrass us with the hotel? Through the peephole, neighbors watch. For once, I don't scramble to fix it. Should we let them in? Mila whispers. No, honey. Remember our talk about respecting our home. Police lights flash. Officer Thompson, who coached Mila's soccer team last spring, stands on the porch. Evening, Miss Allen, he says professionally. He explains he received a call about a family dispute and alleged threats involving an heirloom. Mila clings to me as I explain everything. Texts, emails, receipts, the $1 Venmo payment. I've supported them for years without repayment. I changed the locks to set boundaries. No heirlooms, no threats, just saying no for the first time. Officer Thompson reviews the evidence. They're used to you handling everything, he says. Changing the rules is hard to accept. He speaks to my family outside. Minutes later, they retreat to their cars, Mom pointing at me before they drive away. After checking the locks twice, I find Mila, sitting on her bed, legs dangling over the edge. Mom, she whispers, am I not important enough? Is that why Grandma and my aunts didn't come to my birthday? The question knocks the wind out of me. I kneel to meet her eyes, holding her small hands. No, sweetheart, you are the most important thing in the world. That's why I have to protect you from people who don't value us. My phone buzzes on the nightstand. A text from Mom. You'll regret this. Family is everything. I delete it and tuck Mila in, pulling her comforter up to her chin. It's just us two, I tell her, smiling genuinely for the first time in days. And that's enough. After she falls asleep, a text from Aunt Carol appears. You did the right thing. They're furious, but the truth is on your side. Another from Mrs. Wilson next door. Those brownies on your counter won't eat themselves. You fought the right fight today. A message from coworker James. Need extra shifts to rebuild savings? I can swap Tuesday for your Saturday. And one from Mila's teacher. She seems happier this week. Everything okay at home? I set my phone aside and breathe deeply. The house feels different, lighter somehow. I've been so focused on building a family, I never noticed the community forming around us, person by person. Tomorrow will bring challenges, but tonight, for the first time in years, I sleep without the weight of impossible expectations. At 6:30 a.m., my phone jolts me awake. Savannah Allen mentioned me in a Facebook post. I tap it, already anticipating the content. The status reads, when toxic people show their true colors, some pretend to care about family until they're asked to contribute. Then suddenly, they're too good for the rest of us. Guess money means more than memories to certain people. 17 comments, mostly from distant relatives and high school friends. Sympathy, advice, judgments. Nobody asking my side. Nobody questioning why I sent a single dollar. Just automatic assumptions painting me the villain. Mila peeks into the bedroom, hair tousled. Mom, are you okay? I lock my phone and smile. Fine, sweetie, just checking emails. She believes me and pads back to her room. I wait until her door clicks shut, then return to Facebook. Paragraphs of explanations, defenses, and receipts form in my mind. Instead, I type 5 words. I wish you all well. I log off, slide out of bed, and enter the kitchen. The morning feels lighter, despite the social media storm. I pour cereal for Mila, make coffee, check her backpack for homework. Normal routines feel revolutionary without the weight of family demands. The phone rings. Unfamiliar number, familiar area code. I almost let it go to voicemail, then answer. Maya, it's your Uncle Robert. My father's brother, a ghost from another lifetime. Uncle Robert, I haven't heard from you since high school graduation. I know, he says, voice older, rougher. I heard what happened with Eleanor and the girls. My shoulders tense. How? Small town. Your mother called trying to recruit allies. You're not the first person she's done this to. 20 minutes later, I'm at the kitchen table, staring at a photo Uncle Robert texted. Dad at my 5th birthday party. Eyes hollow, shoulders curled inward. History repeating itself, he wrote. She drained him, then moved on to me. The doorbell interrupts. Mrs. Wilson stands outside, holding a casserole dish. Chicken and rice, she says, pushing it into my hands. The ladies from Street Marks will bring more tomorrow. Mrs. Wilson, we've all been watching. She cuts me off. Some of us have been exactly where you are. Family can be wonderful or quicksand. She touches my arm. We keep an eye out when certain cars drive by, just so you know. She leaves before I can respond properly. I notice an envelope tucked beneath the casserole. $200 gift card, note simply, for Mila's needs. No name, no strings, just kindness without expectation. The contrast knocks the wind from me. Neighbors owe me nothing, yet they form a protective circle while blood relatives wage war online. That evening, after Mila sleeps, I pull out my budget spreadsheet. For the first time in years, I recalculate without family emergencies. The numbers shift. $732 extra monthly, previously disappearing into my family's demands. Enough for Mila's braces, with some left over. Enough for the education account I've been planning since Mila started kindergarten. Enough for a modest lake vacation this summer, where she can make memories that don't involve waiting for relatives who never show up. I stare at the numbers, breathing steadier with each inhale. I open a browser and research education savings accounts. 20 minutes later, I open one in Mila's name with a small initial deposit. A start. A seed. The next morning, grocery shopping feels different. I study prices out of habit, but realize I'm not calculating each item with the razor-thin margins of before. At checkout, I splurge on tulips, $24 just because they're pretty and brighten our dining table. This small act of abundance brings a smile that lasts all day. Saturday morning, Mila wanders into the living room in her favorite rainbow pajamas, too small, but refused to give up. "Aren't we going to Aunt Savannah's party today?" she asks casually. My hands freeze mid-fold. The sweet 16. I saw it on the calendar. She shrugs. Taylor from school is going. Her mom's friends with Grandma. A familiar guilt rises. Should I reconsider? Am I being too harsh? Then Mila adds, "I don't really want to go anyway. Those parties are boring. You have to wear itchy clothes and smile all the time." Decision made. How about we go to the park instead? The basketball courts should be empty this early. Her face lights up. Can we get ice cream after? Absolutely. Hours later, we're at Dairy Dream, sharing a $7 sundae. Chocolate fudge drips down Mila's chin as she giggles about beating me at horse. Her happiness is genuine, unrestrained, the kind I rarely saw at family gatherings where she walked on eggshells, desperate for attention that never came. A woman at the next table smiles. "Want me to take your picture?" I hesitate, then hand her my phone. She captures us mid-laugh, ice cream and all, faces pressed together. The photo is messy, imperfect, radiantly happy, nothing like the posed family portraits my mother insists on each Christmas. "I like this better than a fancy party," Mila declares, diving back into her sundae. I realize, so do I. That night, my phone chimes, a text from Aunt Carol. "You dodged a bullet. Sweet 16 disaster. Complete train wreck." I sink into a kitchen chair, torn between curiosity and relief. My thumb hovers over the call button, but Carol beats me to it. "What happened?" I ask, voice low so Mila won't hear. Carol laughs. "Where do I start?" "They seated your mother next to the smoke machine. Her asthma acted up, half the night coughing and complaining. Of course, Savannah fought with the DJ over every song. The poor man looked ready to walk out. When the bill came, Eleanor's face turned whiter than the tablecloth. Suddenly, nobody could make eye contact. I wind a dish towel around my finger. "How much?" "Way over budget without your platinum sponsorship." They kept glancing at the empty chair where you were supposed to sit, like they saved a spot for your wallet. A small smile tugs at my lips, quickly squashed by guilt. I shouldn't be happy about their misfortune. "It's not misfortune when you design a party around someone else's bank account," Carol says firmly. "It's consequence." The next morning, I'm organizing files at work when a shadow falls across my desk. Mom, in her Sunday dress, says, "We need to talk," loud enough for coworkers to glance over. My stomach drops. I keep my voice steady. "This isn't appropriate, Mom. I'm working." She sets her purse on my desk, covering my spreadsheet. Family comes first. I guide her to the break room. 10 minutes. She launches into a speech about forgiveness and duty, quoting pieces of Pastor Wallace's sermons. He called me after service, concerned about our division. Reconciliation is God's way. I stare into my lukewarm coffee. Did you tell him why we're divided? She waves dismissively. Details don't matter when family is involved. They matter to me. That evening, an envelope waits in my mailbox. No return address. Inside, a handwritten note. Children need their grandmother. Think about what you're doing to Mila. The next day, Savannah's husband calls. Just give them what they want. Peace is worth the money, Maya. Then comes the Thanksgiving invitation. Cream cardstock, gold embossing, a handwritten note at the bottom. Water under the bridge if you contribute $750 for the venue. I place it on the counter beside Mila's school photo. Her smile has returned these past weeks, brighter than before. After tucking her in that night, I sit at the kitchen table with an old family photo. Christmas, 7 years ago. Dad was still with us. Mom hadn't yet assigned me his financial responsibilities. We're all smiling, though I remember the argument that erupted 10 minutes later when Dad questioned the credit card bill. My phone sits beside me. Mom's number highlighted. One tap could reconnect us. One call could smooth everything over. Just another check. Another withdrawal from my savings. Another promise I'd make to Mila, only to break it when another family emergency arose. Her voice echoes in my memory. Am I not important enough? I place the old family photo in a drawer and replace it with her school picture. This confident, smiling girl deserves better than what I had. The next morning, I draft a letter, not an emotional plea, but a documented record. Every loan, every missed event, every broken promise, with dates and amounts. Terms for future contact laid out with clarity. Boundaries with consequences spelled out, even clear enough for Savannah to understand. I make copies, one for Mom, one for each sister, one for Pastor Wallace, explaining the financial manipulation he has unknowingly supported. The final sentence takes 3 attempts. This isn't about money. It's about respect. I sign each copy and send them certified mail. 2 days later, a small envelope arrives addressed to Mila. Return address, Bethany Thompson, a classmate who couldn't attend her birthday. Mila tears it open at the kitchen table, eyes widening at the handmade card covered in glitter and stickers. Sorry I couldn't come. Happy 9th birthday, she reads aloud. 3 $1 bills flutter out. A note explains. For ice cream. I'm saving for a bike, but wanted you to have this. Mila handles the money carefully. Mom, can we get ice cream tomorrow? She asks. Of course. She places the card on the fridge, straightening it 3 times. This is the best card ever, she declares, skipping off to her room with the $3 clutched in her hand. $3 from a child saving for a bike, worth more than all the hollow promises my family ever made. That evening, the phone rings. Grandma. I almost let it go to voicemail, but answer. Maya, you need to fix things, she says without greeting. Your mother and sisters are fighting constantly since that letter arrived. About what? Money. What else? Savannah pushed too hard with that Sweet 16. Lacey promised you'd cover more than your share. They're blaming each other for driving you away. I close my eyes. For a moment, I'm tempted to step in, as I've always done. Instead, I take a deep breath. I'm not responsible for fixing adult relationships. But you've always been the sensible one, Grandma insists. Yes, I say, watching Mila arrange her stuffed animals for a tea party. That's why I'm making a different choice now. I balance on a stepladder, roller in hand, transforming our living room wall with soft yellow paint. 2 months since the $1 Venmo payment, the world hasn't ended. In fact, it's brighter. Literally. Mom, you missed a spot, Mila points to a patch near the ceiling. Her purple t-shirt bears splatter marks like tiny stars. Got it, Eagle Eyes, I say, stretching to cover it. Better than the old beige? Way better, Mila says, tackling the baseboards with focus. It's like sunshine inside. The front door opens. James from work carries a bookshelf under one arm. Special delivery, he announces. By the window, I say, climbing down. You didn't have to build it yourself? He shrugs. What else would I do with my weekends? Watch golf? His laughter fills our small house, a sound that once made me tense, anticipating my mother's judgment about male visitors. Now I smile and help him position the oak shelves in the afternoon light. Later, Mila arranges her books by color, while I stand back, admiring our handiwork. The fridge calendar catches my eye. Movie night Friday, park day Sunday. No family obligations, no emergency loans. The tension I carried for years melts away. Mrs. Wilson calls. Mila nods excitedly. She says I have natural talent. Then, absolutely, I tuck a strand of hair behind Mila's ear, leaving a smudge of yellow paint on her cheek. She giggles and touches my nose with her brush. Now we match. 2 weeks later, Mila stands in front of her third-grade class with a poster titled, My Hero. 2 stick figures hold hands against a crayon sunset. Above them, My mom taught me that love doesn't hurt. Her teacher emails me later. Mila seems so much more confident these days. Whatever you're doing, keep it up. I place the note next to Mila's drawing with a sunflower magnet. Christmas cards arrive, including one from my mother, dripping with guilt. Families should be together. We've all made mistakes. Savannah texts, I miss my niece. Tyler asks about her. Lacey emails about a family healing retreat in Arizona. Price tag, $2,300 per person. I read each message twice, waiting for the familiar twist of shame. Nothing comes. Calm clarity. I type a single response to all 3. We've moved forward. I wish you well. Our Christmas tree stands 4 feet tall, adorned with popcorn strings and Mila's handmade ornaments. Gifts beneath: a sketchbook, colored pencils, a garage sale telescope, wrapped with care. Mrs. Wilson brings apple cider. James arrives with a cheese-heavy casserole. Aunt Carol drives 3 hours, bearing cookies and genuine hugs. I brought something else, Carol says, handing me a leather-bound album. First page, Our Family of 2, in elegant script. Room to grow, she nods, gesturing to our laughing guests. January, I join a single-parent support group. February, volunteer at Mila's school monthly. Uncle Robert sends postcards with encouraging notes. Brick by brick, we're building something new. As another October approaches, Mila's 10th birthday. A simple picnic, homemade cake, friends who show up. Mail brings a surprise, a card from Mom with $50, no strings attached. Happy birthday, granddaughter. I slide it into Mila's birthday fund. Boundaries don't mean cutting people off. They mean controlling the terms of engagement. Tonight, after Mila sleeps, I write in the journal Carol gave me. Real family isn't defined by blood, but by the people who show up. I glance at a new photo on the wall. Mila and me, flanked by Carol, Mrs. Wilson, James, and Uncle Robert. Below, a small plaque reads, Our Family. The house is quiet, except for Mila's peaceful breathing. I close my journal, feeling something I haven't felt in years. Home.